1. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 31st National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Paralyzed Veterans of America and the Department of Veterans Affairs. I'm Josh Raketic. Alongside Al Kovac, we have Kevin Zuckerman as the third man of our crew out in the field. Al, the opening ceremony is here for this year's event. A great turnout so far.
It is. We got over 600 athletes from all over the country, and we actually invited the team from Great Britain again this year. It's a chance for the veterans to develop some more camaraderie and overcome their disabilities through sports. And it's really a neat thing to, once these guys start hanging out together, compete with each other, the barriers break down, and the guys get to know each other. And it's a great place to meet new friends. And it's very unique because this event is the largest annual wheelchair sporting event in the world. So sure, you hear about the Paralympics and stuff, but those only happen every couple of years. This happens every single year. And kudos to the VA and the Paralyzed Veterans of America for being able to pull this event off. I can tell you, Pittsburgh will never be the same after this event comes to town with 600 guys in wheelchairs.
And this is actually the second time the event has been in Pittsburgh. 1998 was the first time you were here, Al. What are the differences in the event from the first time in 1998 to this time in 2011?
Well, I think the biggest difference is the sponsors and the support and the volunteers, because back in '98 we did not have an ongoing war against the terrorists, and you know we still have troops overseas that are dedicated to lay down their lives for our country, and I think people finally get that now, and they're here, I believe, to not only support the athletes as individuals but also support the cause.
Now, is that the big message that the games really want to send out, is just to know how many veterans are out there, and especially ones that have, paid the ultimate sacrifice of, being injured in battle?
Absolutely, and there's a lot of guys that have paid the price in between battles. I, for one, was injured shortly after Desert Storm. And nobody really knows about that.
Now you may be wondering.
Right now, it's all about the guys in Iraq and Afghanistan, but there's certainly people that paid some serious prices in Vietnam, Korea, Panama, Bosnia. It goes on and on.
In the background, I'm sure you can hear the athletes are being announced by state as we speak. You were a part of it at one time. What would be going through your head right now as an athlete, getting able to take that walk out there? Excuse me, but going out with the ride and being able to, present yourself to everybody and represent your state.
Well, I really do miss competition, but I gave up competition about 10 years ago, and I really want to continue giving back to the idea of the sport, but I just can't compete. It's really neat to see the new guys and some of the guys that have been around for a while that basically passing the torch. The old guys, we might not be too competitive, but we have a lot of lessons to teach.
And they keep battling.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really neat to see the new guys look at the older guys and see them as mentors. And really that's what this thing is all about, is developing some new relationships with people that, the new guys really don't have any role models. It's not like a new guy that might be 22 or 23 years old gets injured. Do they really want to look at Michael Jordan or some other professional athlete? They can't really relate because they're not in a wheelchair. They haven't gone through the whole awareness and acceptance of a disability. But this is where, again, all those barriers kind of go away and people start sharing personal experiences about being disabled and about serving in a time of war. There's so much more to these games than what you're going to see tonight on camera.
Let's get to the third man of our broadcast team. It's Kevin Zuckerman. Kevin, who are you with down there?
Thanks, Josh. This is Kevin with Patrick Peterson here. Patrick, let's talk a little bit about yourself.
I'm 40 years old, Army veteran from Alabama, 6 years active duty. I live in Alabama now. I'm representative for the Paralyzed Veterans of America Bayou chapter.
All right, and what events are you going to be competing in these games?
This year, I'm going to be competing in 100-meter dash, the 400-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, weightlifting, and basketball.
All right, he's getting active.
That's right.
He is getting active. All right, Josh, back to you.
Thanks, Kevin. Josh and Al back here again in Georgia being announced right now. Tell me a little bit about the Georgia team.
Well, I don't know anything specifically about the Georgia team, but I can tell you we got a lot of teams here, and what's really neat is there's a lot of friendly competition with the teams, just like there's friendly competition between Navy, Marines, Army, Air Force, and Coast Guard, etc. But it's all for show. Everybody, it's a very friendly competition event, and don't worry.
Where do you see the competition more for games like this? Does it lie more in the states, Pennsylvania, Ohio, the big Steelers-Browns rivalry, or is it more the Army and the Navy? Which competition shines brighter here?
Well, that's interesting you asked that. There is a lot of the branch of the services like to compete, but it's all in fun.
A team that
But,
traveled across the Atlantic
If you have
Ocean.
an individual
Join
athlete, it might
us.
be like hand cycling, track, swimming.
Our friends
You're
from
competing as an
Great
individual athlete. But when it comes to rugby, basketball, you're competing as a team, and it's a lot different dynamics to the whole sport. And it's hard to say which one's better.
And they're right on
I wouldn't
the
mind taking home a
heels.
gold medal, whether it's as an. I scratch that. I'd probably rather take home a gold medal that I earned through a team sport rather than as an individual.
Athletes from
Great
across the
Britain being
world
announced right
competed
now.
in games for the
What
past
about those
23
guys
years.
coming from overseas? Is
And
there a
the
little bit
only
of friendly
visiting
rivalry
team
between
permitted to
Great Britain and
participate.
America as far as the games are
British
concerned?
team has
There's not too
become
many
an important
teams
part
coming
of this
from
annual
outside
event.
of the U.S., but
And we're
with them
especially
here, do you
happy
see a little bit of
to welcome
the
these
friendly
athletes.
rivalry there too?
Well, it's kind of odd that a lot of our,
Welcome.
we fought for independence from Great Britain, so it's kind of odd that they're here. And really, the only thing that the Brits are competitive in is actually drinking.
Well, I think the U.S. can hang up with them in the drinking too. They might be a little bit better in that. Al, what should we expect from these games this year?
I think you guys are going to get a chance to see a lot of great camaraderie, team spirit. You're going to see guys that are pulling stuff out of their back pocket they never would have if they were just sitting home watching TV. This is
Idaho.
sports tends to bring out the best
The
and sometimes the
Gem
worst of
State.
people. But because this is about a friendly competition, I think you're going to see definitely the best of people.
And also, too, all the great you don't have to be a great athlete to be here. You can have, the people that compete all the time consistently in events, or you can have the weekend warrior, so to speak, to be here and show what they can do as well.
There's no doubt. There's some of the guys that have competed in the Hawaiian Ironman. There's guys that have competed in the Boston Marathon. And there's guys that basically, like you said, shoot pool on the weekends.
Illinois.
And it doesn't
The
make a
Prairie
difference. It's
State.
all about the spirit of the
Interesting, I
games.
don't think of
And it's
Illinois
about
as being in
friendly
the prairie,
competition.
but it is, the
It's
beginning of it. When it comes to sports,
we're all here to have fun.
Illinois has
Well, that'll
it
make
all.
things
The state of
interesting
Chicago,
later on the week, though. I've already
football
donned a
team,
championship
Chicago
Saturday.
Blackhawks
Saturday's going to be a
hockey
big day with almost all the team
Chicago
sports
Cubs,
crowning a
and
champion
White
that.
Sox baseball
I look forward to that
team.
day. I plan on being the guy that's presenting the
Chicago
awards that
team
day, so I really look forward
and the Chicago
to it. I have to say
Fire
something about the
soccer
team
team.
sports. It's not like the team.
The Chicago
We
Post
march
Office
in
at
today
433
as a team,
West Van
but what
Buren
really
is the
happens is when you
only
go to
postal
rugby
facility in the
or
world
basketball, they
you
break
can
you
drive
down
a
and you get to
car
play on a team with
finally,
guys
some
you've never met
famous
before.
people that
And
hail
that's
from
really
Illinois
neat.
or call it
It's
home
almost like
include
those TV
Abraham
shows, those
Lincoln,
reality TV shows like Survivor,
Ronald
Big Brother.
Reagan,
You're being
Jack
forced to a real
Benny,
stressful situation
Benny
with
Goodman,
complete strangers.
Walt
But
Disney,
again,
Charlton
consider the
Heston,
disability, you consider the
Raquel
veteran,
Welch,
and
of
somehow
course,
we all get along. And
Oprah.
it really isn't a matter of the medals. It's really about what you learn about camaraderie and team spirit here.
It's all about having fun here. Kevin is with someone again. Kevin, we're coming back to you, buddy. Who do you got down there?
Indiana.
Thanks, guys. Can you just tell me a little bit about yourself? What's your name?
My name is James Johnson. I was in the Navy. This is my first wheelchair games, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Excellent.
Great experience, man.
That's excellent. Well, what games are you going to be competing in?
Basketball, 9-ball, bowling, weightlifting, and air guns.
All right, and what is your favorite thing about the game so far?
Just hanging out with the guys, seeing all the different vets from all over, and just meeting cool people.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you very much. Good luck in the games. Guys, back to you.
Place of
Thanks,
four,
Kevin, Josh, and Al back
four
here.
US
Still going
presidents.
through the states. And
John
something that
Adams,
we talked with
his
somebody
son,
earlier
John
about was how to
Quincy
get
Adams,
involved. How does the
John
message get out there
Fitzgerald
to veterans
and
to
George
be able to come to
Herbert
somewhere
Walker
different
Bush.
every year and compete in these games?
And in an
Well, there's
equally
two ways.
serious
One is
and
the
historic
Paralyzed Veterans
game,
of
the
America's
Boston
website,
Cream
which is
Pie
pva.org.
became
All the
official
information is right there.
Massachusetts State
But also
dessert
we rely heavily on the
1996.
staff at the VAs. The VA has physical
Now,
therapists, recreational
my native
therapists, etc.
state.
And really those
The
are
state
the
of
people
Michigan,
that
the
provide
Great Lakes state.
the first line of defense, if you will, about introducing sports. PVA and the VA
Gerald
firmly believe in
R. Ford
sports
grew
as
up
a
in
great
Grand Rapids,
activity-based
Michigan, and became
therapy.
the 38th
So when you're going
president
through
of
your
the United
rehabilitation, the
States.
first thing they want to do is
He
introduce
attended my
sports and
alma mater,
recreation.
University
But they
of
want to see
Michigan,
you
where he
once you're
became a
discharged from the
football
hospital. They want to
star
see you
and
continue
served
that.
on a World War
And it
II
really is
aircraft
hard
carrier, and
to
afterward
keep that
represented
spark
Michigan
alive
in
when the
Congress
patient has
for
left the
24
hospital.
years.
So we like to remind people
He
once
was
a
also
year
an Eagle
here at the
Scout,
Veterans Games
the highest
about
rank in scouting.
yeah, let's come here and let's try to go for a gold medal,
Next
but
we have
it's about
Minnesota,
training for this
the
event.
North
It's
Star
about
State.
practicing every single day, or the discipline that's involved in sports. I was an athlete before I was paralyzed. I swam for Indiana University. It was a great swimming school, and we were in the pool at 5 o'clock in the morning. We were pool at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was really about discipline. And I think that sure, there's a lot of physical attributes, a lot of great things that happen to your body when you're training for something, but it's really all in your head. And again, it's the discipline. It's the setting up with short-term goals, long-term goals, and there's such an immense sense of gratification or sense of accomplishment when you're able to go home and tell your family or your friends that you came home with the gold medal.
Is that something that makes the event special for a lot of veterans? You know, doing something that they love to do and serve, and kind of get that right back here a little bit, to have the training and be able to do something successful for themselves and for their families as well.
I think it's a pattern of behavior that all veterans have. Is you went through boot camp, you served in very small units, some served in very large units. It was all about accomplishing a common goal. It's very much about team building. And all that goes away when you become paralyzed or become disabled. You all of a sudden become independent. Basically, I can't tell you how many guys that have been coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan. They want to get better so they can go back to their unit in the military. They don't really talk about going back to their family in Pittsburgh. They want to go back to the guys that they've gone through all this training together. And there's something about when you face adversity together with a group of guys, it's a real bonding experience. I can't explain it. You guys got to be here for the Veterans Games to get it.
And we understand the big message here, but there are sports being played, and like you say, a lot of people like to win. So let's talk about it a little bit. They're just announcing Nebraska out there now. What states do you know have a lot of good athletes here that you think can kind of run away with some medal counts?
Well, I'm from San Diego, and I don't think any other team has any athletes as good as San Diego. But the East Coast has some great athletes, and the West Coast has some great athletes. What happens when you get to the Midwest and Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, etc., it's such a rural area that the veterans are so spread apart, and it's hard for them to get into the whole team thing. When you live in an area that's got a concentrated population of disabled athletes, that's when you start to see more of the teams. So you may find that the guys that are in the Mid-America are probably involved more in hand cycling, swimming, some of those individual sports, where the guys on the East and West Coast tend to be more of a rugby, basketball type team.
You won't be competing, but as you said, down there in San Diego, are you pulling for California here?
Absolutely.
You're not from San Diego originally. You're from Philadelphia. Anything for Pennsylvania?
Don't start a fight. Yeah, I'm from Philadelphia, and I was having a conversation with Franco Harris a little earlier tonight, and he had to remind me that Pittsburgh actually had a football team. I had totally forgotten.
Woodrow Wilson is the
there's that friendly rivalry that
President of the United States.
He dismissed me very quickly.
And did you know
it's all about the Super Bowl ring?
That picturesque Cape May holds
Kevin, we're going to come back to you, man. Who do you got down there?
Thanks, guys. Sir, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Brian Speed. I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I served in the Air Force for 10 years. They retired me in 2003. I have MS. I love these games.
Excellent. Well, what games are you competing in since you love them so much?
Bowling, air guns, 9-ball, and softball.
And which one of those are you looking forward to most?
All of them. I just come here and have fun.
Excellent.
If I win something, great. If not, whatever.
This is a man that just likes to have fun. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Kevin, Josh, and Al, back here on xable.com. And Al, what does this event cost? What are we talking price range for it about every year?
Well, it's not in the budget, in the federal budget. It's about $1 million to put on this event. And all these athletes you see out here in front of you had to fundraise at their local town. It costs about $1,500 per athlete, and then there's a lot of other stuff that's not included in that. So the VA and the PBA are definitely working on fundraising 2, 3, 4 years ahead of time. It's very, very expensive, and we have to rely on people making personal donations. Sometimes
South
corporations step up to the plate.
Palmetto
You can see all the posters around here that name all the sponsors. But if you really want to get involved and make a donation to help this event as special as it is, I would suggest going to the Paralyzed Veterans website, which is pva.org, or of course the VA's website, which is, go ahead.
Is that the main way that people can help try to cut the cost for some people?
Absolutely.
Rushmore
We get a
State.
lot of VFWs, Kiwanis clubs, local chapters of the Vietnam veterans that make these donations to get these guys here. They understand they themselves can't go, so maybe we can help our neighbors go. And I'm sitting here right now. I've been doing this for about
Tennessee,
20 years,
the volunteer state.
and I'm seeing a lot of young faces, which is very encouraging. The last time we were in Pittsburgh, again, we didn't have a war going on, and the sponsors weren't there, the participants weren't there, and I'm beginning to see some really new young guys, which is very, very good.
How important is that to try to bring the next generation in? Only some things can only be as good as the next people in line for that. How important is it for the young veterans to come out here and get involved as well?
Well, it really is an experience to have to get on an airplane, to check into a hotel, basically live with a bunch of strangers, come into a totally strange environment. It can be very stressful for somebody who's recently disabled. And I think that the guys who've been around for a while can really make those young guys feel welcome and make it as easy as possible, that transition we're talking about. And I think that we're going to try to instill that same behavior in the new guys so that when we have to do this again, that they will basically pass on the torch to the next new guy.
How old were you in your first game?
That they really do it big in
27,
Texas.
28. You know what? Even though sports and rec was a real important part of my rehabilitation, I didn't want to draw a lot of attention to myself. I wanted to basically go hide in a corner for a while. But a friend of mine that I served in the military with was also paralyzed, and he convinced me to come out here and do this. And once I participated once, I got it. I love this place. I'll do it every year. Even if I can't compete, I still want to be here to support this event as any way I can.
Does this event really help the psyche of a disabled veteran really just come out here and see, wow, I have a lot of brothers and sisters just like me, and help them do things a lot easier as well?
Sure, a lot of these guys get paralyzed and they're taken away from their unit, and they want to have a sense of belonging because, let's face it, if you're in a wheelchair, you're probably the only guy in your town that's in a wheelchair. It's not like there's a lot of us, and I think when they come here, they realize they got an entire family that's here, and that's what's so enjoyable about coming to these Veterans Games. Even though they're in a different town every single year, it's like having a family reunion every single year. Even though it's in a different town, it's the same athletes that are showing up. We love it, and then we like to see the new guys come in here as well.
We have Kevin Zuckerman down there with somebody. Kevin, who do you have?
Thanks, guys. I am here with probably the most energetic person at these games. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Babette Payton. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I'm here as an independent athlete for the first time. I'm excited. This is a wonderful city. People are wonderful. And the games seem like they're going to be great. I'm overwhelmed to be here. And standing next to some great looking guys too, I'm very happy.
Well, we're glad that you're happy and having a great time. What kind of things are you going to be competing in?
I'm competing in the table tennis, archery with one hand in my mouth, competing with swimming, backstroke with the right side only. I'm competing with the slalom and then also ramp bowling.
All right, excellent. Well, have a great time. Good luck, and thank you very much. Guys,
Everybody, I love you. This is a great city. I'm coming back, coming back, coming back. The games are great, and all the athletes I've met here have been fantastic.
awesome. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Kevin. Josh Raketic, Al Kovac alongside me again here now. Getting ready to wrap things up here for the opening ceremonies. What are your expectations here for this year's event, and what are you hoping to see?
Well, I'm always hoping to see the same old stuff because that's why I like coming back. But I'm also looking forward to seeing some new stuff. And again, it's these new guys. I don't know where it comes from, but there's this visceral competitiveness with these veterans that just makes me yearn to probably get back into competition. It's very hard to sit here and not compete, unfortunately. But anyways, it's very encouraging to see the new guys and the old guys working out together, and I just wish I could be in the audience instead of.
I think we saw Guam, a representative from Guam, and we have Puerto Rico here as well, in addition to Great Britain. So it's expanding, the games are.
It's very cool to see it expanding. There's people from around the world that are watching us very closely right now, including Korea, that want to try something new like this. And I think they see the value of what this does for our veterans. And now, you got to strike while the iron's hot. And right now, we've got this war going on in Afghanistan and Iraq. And now is the best time to really get involved in something like this. I think it's really it's the people who are sitting at home watching the news on TV, watching the war on TV. Maybe they could step up to the plate and help support those guys who are fighting the war for real.
So it's good to see the families get involved too. You just heard Wisconsin get called, and a yell just from across there of just probably about 100 family members just yelling out to their veterans. You see the families supporting them coming all the way from Wisconsin.
Yeah, when a veteran becomes disabled, it doesn't affect him or her. It's just them. It affects the entire family and all their friends. And I think what happens is the veteran comes to these games, loves it, falls in love with the event. He goes back home, tells all his and her buddies about the event. Next year, they're bringing the whole family out here.
Well, we hope that it grows even more from this year. For Al Kovac, for Kevin Zuckerman out in the field, this has been Josh Furketic for xable.com. We have coverage for you all week long. Tune in tomorrow, Tuesday. We have air guns and slalom in the morning, basketball in the evening. It's the 31st Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Paralyzed Veterans of America and the Department of Veteran Affairs.